The biggest secret in cowboy movie history was buried for 50 years until one dying man decided to tell the truth. William Boyd was lying in his bed in 1972. His hands shook from Parkinson's disease. His famous voice was now just a whisper. But he had something important to say. Something he had kept hidden for decades. The man who played Hopalong Cassidy was about to reveal the truth about his friendship with Randolph Scott. A truth that would shock America. But before you learn this secret, you need to know how it all started. Picture a poor kid with dirty hands picking oranges in California. That was William Boyd in 1915. He wasn't born rich like other movie stars. His dad worked with his hands. His mom sewed clothes for money. William knew what it meant to be hungry. When his family moved from Ohio to Oklahoma and then California, William did whatever jobs he could find. He picked fruit under the hot sun. He measured land as a surveyor. He even stood still as a model in department stores, so people could see how clothes look. These jobs taught him something important. Real men work hard and treat people right. This lesson would change everything later. William didn't plan to become a movie star. It just happened. His face was perfect for movies. Strong jaw, serious eyes, and a look that said he could handle trouble. In the 1920s, he got small parts in silent movies. Then he got bigger roles. Movies like The King of Kings made him famous. For a short time, William Boyd was one of Hollywood's biggest stars. But fame can disappear faster than it comes. In the late 1920s, something terrible happened. Another actor had the same name as William Boyd. This other William Boyd got in trouble with the law, but newspapers and movie studios mixed them up. They thought our William Boyd was the bad guy. This mistake destroyed his career overnight. Studios stopped hiring him. Friends stopped calling him. His agent dropped him. William Boyd went from being a star to being nobody. He was broke and forgotten. Most people would have given up. But William Boyd was not most people. In 1935, William made a decision that seemed crazy. He spent every dollar he had to buy the rights to a character called Hopalong Cassidy. His friends thought he lost his mind. Why would a broke actor buy a cowboy character nobody cared about? William saw something others didn't see. He saw a chance to create the perfect hero. The original Hopalong Cassidy from the books was rough and mean. He drank too much and swore a lot. William changed everything. His Hopalong Cassidy was clean, honest and good. He wore black clothes but was pure white inside. He helped people and never gave up. William made 66 Hopalong Cassidy movies between 1935 and Kids loved him. Parents trusted him. He became America's favorite cowboy. During these successful years, William met someone who would become very important to him. Randolph Scott was different from everyone else in Hollywood. He was tall, quiet, and mysterious. While other actors loved parties and attention, Randolph stayed in the shadows. He was born rich in Virginia, but chose to be a movie star anyway. The first time they met was at a Hollywood party in William was telling jokes and making people laugh. Randolph stood alone in the corner, watching everyone. They started talking about horses. Both men grew up around horses. This conversation was the beginning of a friendship that would last their whole lives. Their friendship was private and special. They never made movies together, but they wrote letters to each other. They had quiet lunches where nobody could bother them. They went fishing in places far from Hollywood. Sometimes they didn't talk for hours. They just enjoyed being together. But Randolph Scott had a secret that made his life very hard. People whispered about him and his friendship with another actor named Cary Grant. Randolph and Cary lived together in a beach house. They seemed closer than just friends. In the 1930s and 1940s, this kind of relationship was dangerous. It could destroy a career and ruin a life. William watched his friends struggle with this secret. Randolph had to pretend to be someone he wasn't. He had to date women for pictures in magazines. He had to act tough and manly all the time, but inside he was fighting a battle nobody could see. William understood pain. He had lost his baby son to a disease called whooping cough. He had been married 5 times trying to find happiness. He knew what it felt like to hurt inside. The friendship between William and Randolph grew stronger because they both understood suffering. They both knew what it meant to put on a happy face when your heart was breaking. They both felt responsible for being good examples to the kids who watched their movies. William would later say they talked about their responsibility a lot. Millions of children looked up to them. Parents used their characters to teach kids about right and wrong. This was a heavy burden. Every choice they made mattered. Every mistake could hurt the people who believed in them. As the years passed, both men got older and their careers changed. William became one of the first actors to understand television. He put his Hopalong Cassidy movies on TV and made millions of dollars. He was smart about business and invested his money well. Randolph kept making movies but stayed private about his personal life. In the 1950s, William made a hard decision. He stopped playing Hopalong Cassidy in public. He was getting older and sick with Parkinson's disease. He didn't want kids to see their hero looking weak or old. He wanted to protect the character he had created. This decision cost him money, but it showed how much he cared about doing the right thing. Randolph understood William's choice because he had made similar decisions. Both men chose to protect their images rather than make easy money. They both valued their reputations more than fame or fortune. For decades, William kept quiet about his friendship with Randolph. Reporters asked him questions, but he never answered. He knew that Randolph valued his privacy above everything else. Protecting his friends' secrets was a matter of honor. Real friends don't tell other people's business. But in 1972, everything changed. William was dying. His wife Grace saw how much he wanted to tell the truth about his friend. She encouraged him to speak, not to hurt anyone, but to honor a friendship that meant everything to him. The interview that broke William's silence happened just months before he died. His voice was weak, but his words were strong. He talked about Randolph with love and respect. He said Randolph was a man of few words, but when he spoke, everyone listened. He said Randolph didn't chase fame like other actors. Fame followed him. Then William said something that surprised everyone. He defended Randolph's right to live his life privately. He said Randolph didn't owe anyone an explanation about who he loved or how he lived. He said Randolph lived with grace and dignity, and that should be enough for anyone. These words meant more than most people understood. William was telling the world that it was okay for Randolph to be different. It was okay for him to love who he wanted to love. In 1972, this was a brave thing to say. Many people still thought being different was wrong. William also talked about how Hollywood had changed. He said in the old days, actors had to be strong without help. There was no internet to defend yourself. There were no publicists to fix your problem. You only had your work and your word. He said Randolph Scott never broke his word or betrayed anyone. The most beautiful part of William's interview was when he talked about their shared goal. He said they both wanted to create characters that made boys want to do the right thing. They wanted to make fathers proud to watch movies with their sons. He said if people still see little boys playing cowboy and pretending to ride into the sunset, then they did their job right. William Boyd died 3 months after giving this interview. He took many secrets with him, but he had shared the most important one. His friendship with Randolph Scott was real, deep, and built on respect. It wasn't about scandal or gossip. It was about 2 men who found each other in a crazy world and held on tight. Randolph Scott lived until 1987, 15 years after William died. He never talked publicly about their friendship, but people who knew him said he was grateful for William's words. William had found a way to tell the truth without hurting anyone. He had protected his friend one last time. Today, when we watch old cowboy movies, we see more than just entertainment. We see 2 men who understood that being a hero isn't about being perfect. It's about being loyal, honest, and kind. William Boyd and Randolph Scott weren't just playing heroes on screen. They were heroes in real life too. Their story teaches us important lessons. First, real friends protect each other's secrets. Second, it's okay to be different from what people expect. Third, the best kind of success comes from helping others believe in good things. Fourth, sometimes the most important truths are the ones we keep private. William Boyd's decision to speak about Randolph Scott wasn't betrayal, it was love. He wanted the world to know that his friend was a good man who deserved respect. He wanted people to remember Randolph not as a mystery to solve, but as a person who lived with dignity. In our world today, where everything is public and nothing stays secret, their friendship reminds us of something valuable. Some things are too precious to share with everyone. Some relationships are too important to turn into entertainment. Real love and friendship happen in quiet moments, away from cameras and crowds. The friendship between William Boyd and Randolph Scott shows us that Hollywood's golden age wasn't just about glamour and fame. It was about real people trying to do good work while dealing with the same problems we all face. They worried about money, struggled with relationships, and tried to figure out who they really were. But they also showed us something beautiful. They proved that two very different people can become best friends. They proved that loyalty matters more than popularity. They proved that protecting someone you care about is more important than getting attention for yourself. When William Boyd finally broke his silence about Randolph Scott, he gave us a gift. He showed us what real friendship looks like. He reminded us that the best kind of love is the kind that protects and honors the person you care about. He taught us that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is keep a secret until the right time to tell it. Their story will always be one of Hollywood's most beautiful mysteries. Not because we don't understand it, but because we understand it perfectly. It's the story of two men who found each other in a complicated world and chose to be loyal until the end. It's the story of friendship that was stronger than fame, deeper than success, and more lasting than any movie they ever made. Hit that subscribe button to discover more hidden Hollywood secrets that changed history forever.